Haitians are always on the right side of history. I don't care what nobody say. So you telling me that ICE came to Brooklyn, specifically Little Haiti, Flatbush, kote all Haitians you leave? I guess ICE was trying to detain the Haitians over there, and the Haitians were not going for it. I think that people forget that we were the first ones to be freed. My people got a taste of slavery and said, we can't do this. Wrap this up by tonight.
Y'all, I just saw a crazy fucking video. Apparently, ICE agents thought that they was about to come to Brooklyn to just go ahead and snatch up some Haitian people like they've been doing to Mexican people. Y'all gotta see the video. The Haitian people was whooping they.
It seemed like ICE didn't learn their lesson. Now they done jumped from culture to culture, and they found the right one. You found the right one.
1 year later.
Hundreds of thousands of Haitians are waking up today to a new reality. Temporary protected status, or TPS, has officially expired after the Supreme Court cleared the way for the Trump administration to end that program. That means that roughly 350,000 Haitians who relied on those protections could now face deportation if they don't have another legal status. And nowhere is expected to feel that impact more than here in Florida, where more than half of all Haitian TPS holders live, with large populations also in New York, Massachusetts, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Georgia, and Indiana. Now, TPS was first granted to Haitians after the devastating 2010 earthquake. It allowed people already in the U.S. to legally live and work here while Haiti recovered. Those protections were extended several times over the years, but the Trump administration argued that TPS was never meant to be permanent. Border Czar Tom Homan is defending the administration's stance, saying conditions in Haiti have improved enough to end that program. But the State Department still advises Americans not to travel there because of widespread gang violence, kidnappings, and political instability. Now, advocates argue that Haiti still qualifies for temporary protected status and warn that ending it could separate.
What's up, family? So we got a massive story developing right now, and I want to break this down the right way because there's a lot of noise around it, but not a lot of clarity. So the Supreme Court dropped a ruling that's about to change the game for hundreds of thousands of people living in the United States under what's called temporary protective status, or TPS. And the group getting hit first and hardest is the Haitian community. And we're talking about roughly 350,000 Haitians who have been living and working here under a program that was supposed to be temporary. And now the Supreme Court has finally said what everybody with common sense already knew. Temporary means temporary. So the Trump administration now has the green light to end temporary protective status for Haitians, and ICE is already gearing up for a massive crackdown. Arrests and deportations are expected to start almost immediately. And the reports are saying they are planning about 1,000 deportations a month. That's not small talk, that's real. And here's what's already happening in response. Haitians are fleeing. They're packing up and leaving on their own before ICE even shows up. In Springfield, Ohio, community leaders are saying 80% of the Haitian population has already left. And that's 80% gone, empty houses, empty neighborhoods, businesses shutting down. And that's what self-deportation looks like in real time. Now, I want to break this down in plain English because I know the media is going to try to spin this into some emotional story about families being torn apart and communities being destroyed. But let's be real. The program is called temporary protective status, not permanent protective status, not protective status forever, not will extend this every time you ask. Temporary. So that word means something. It has a definition. It has a limit. And when you sign up for a temporary program, you're signing up for the possibility that one day it will end. Nobody forced anybody to come here unless under false pretenses. Okay, so the terms were clear. The question is whether people choose to believe the terms or whether they choose to believe the political promises that kept getting the can kicked down the road, because that's what's been happening for years. Every time the deadline came up, politicians would push it back, extend it again, kick the can, and people started treating temporary like it was permanent. In this case, aka entitlement. So they built lives, they bought things, they put down roots, and now the bill has come due. And everybody's acting surprised, but the surprise is not a surprise, it's denial. It's the same trick they pull with words like democratic socialism. They put a pretty word in front of an ugly idea and hope you don't notice. They put temporary in front of protective status and made people think it meant forever. And now the Supreme Court said enough is enough. Which makes sense why the Democratic Socialists of America, the DSA, wants to get rid of the Supreme Court. Now, let me also hit the contradiction that's driving me crazy in this coverage, because the State Department is out here saying Haiti is too dangerous for Americans to travel to. Too much gang violence, as you heard, too many kidnappings, too much political instability. Don't go there. But somehow it's not too dangerous for Haitians to be sent back to. Think about that. If it's too dangerous for an American citizen to step foot in Haiti, how is it safe for a Haitian national to be deported there? Right? The answer is it's not about safety. It's about who problem it is, right? The United States government is not responsible for fixing Haiti. Haiti is responsible for fixing Haiti. And the only way Haiti gets fixed is if the people who know Haiti best and the people who are from there, the people who understand the culture and the language and the politics, go back and do the work. And I actually think sending these individuals back is the best thing that could happen to Haiti in the long run. Not because I want to see people suffer, because I want to see Haiti succeed. And Haiti cannot succeed if all of its best and brightest people are living in Florida, New York, Massachusetts. You cannot drain a country of its talent and then wonder why the country stays broken. It's not compassion. That's actually extraction. That's taking the people who could fix their own nation and using them to prop up ours and then calling it humanitarian in exchange of AKA votes and everything else to stay in power, and then have entitlement, and that entitlement in exchange for them to stay here in the United States and make temporary turn into entitlement and mean forever is because the politicians that keep pushing it back, once it pushed back, if they can stay here in exchange for a vote. I think that makes pretty much self-explanatory common sense, right?
Thanks for staying with The Big Deal. Hundreds of thousands of Haitian and Syrian nationals who are living in the U.S. under temporary protected status are facing a whole lot of uncertainty about their futures. For years, temporary protected status has been extended to people all around the world fleeing war or famine or other disasters. It allows them to legally work and get driver's licenses and send their children to school. But last month, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that the Trump administration can end TPS for individual migrant groups, which it has proceeded to do, with work permits for Haitian holders expiring on July 24th. In one embattled Haitian community in Ohio, the end of TPS status means that families have abruptly moved out, leaving a wave of vacant homes. Sheena Elzy from Spectrum News 1 shows us how community leaders are trying to stay ahead of the problem.
For months, Haitian business owners in Springfield have been telling us they're losing business.
So many people left.
And it's getting worse.
80% of the community, they already left.
They say many Haitians left town out of fear of deportation after a Supreme Court ruling that allows their temporary protected status to be stripped away. And community leaders are watching another possible consequence.
I do think that it's going to be something that is going to impact our community.
Kara Van Zandt is a longtime Springfield resident and the assistant executive director for the Clark County Land Bank. She says they've been working to renovate or remove abandoned properties already made worse by the housing crisis.
With vacant lots, I know that we have tax foreclosed properties, which is a number that we use quite often. That means that they are officially been left, so that abandoned category is checked. We have about 500 parcels in Clark County, primarily in the city of Springfield.
Now there's
So that makes you wonder, is there really a housing crisis, or basically there was so much of a demand that the supply of housing could meet up with the demand of so many individuals being here that were supposed to be here temporary in the first place? So is it really housing crisis, or is it really that individuals that weren't supposed to be here as long as they were, that made the cost of living go up and housing not available to American citizens and people who are supposed to be and who are here and actually here the right way, legally, as an illegal immigrant and also American citizen? So when you look at it, because it was temporary protective status, it's not really a housing crisis. It's just people who are here that's not supposed to be here, which then discredits and takes away the opportunity for individuals who are paying taxes and doing everything the right way and living their lives, and they don't have housing because individuals that are here that's not supposed to be here no more because the temporary status kept getting pushed back. So I don't really think it's a housing crisis. I think we have plenty of houses. It's just a simple fact that the housing was basically utilized and used up because individuals that they expected to be here and stay forever when they were on temporary protective status for a reason, and eventually we're going to go back, they got so spoiled they expected them to be here forever. So whose fault is that?
concerned that if more Haitian families leave in a short period of time, even more houses can sit empty.
And fewer options for the people of Haitian community, in the Haitian community or anywhere.
fewer options for the Haitian community? What about just the citizens within that state? What about the ones who actually need housing? How about you just renovate it, fix it up, and also help supply housing the same way that the Haitians that were here temporarily give housing to American citizen or a legal immigrant who came here and done everything the right way out of respect for the process coming into the country the right way? I don't understand how just because it's not a Haitian in the house, because they had to go back under temporary status, which expired now, that it still doesn't make it a viable house to somebody who needs it.
In town to go if they are left homeless. Now, the mayor, in a recent meeting, the mayor did say they are working with other nonprofits to try and open up more places for people to go, but it's still a big issue here in town.
How are daily services being impacted if 80% of the population is gone? What happens to local businesses and schools and public transit?
Yeah, well, a lot of the Haitian immigrants were working manufacturing jobs. Some of them I talked to were working at warehouses, like Amazon warehouses and things of that nature. And as far as the businesses go, a lot of the Haitian-owned businesses, at least, say they're seeing less of it and they're struggling trying to keep up, but they tell me they're going to stay in town until they're forced out.
Well, guess what? I always say, I use an example, right? If I open up a business and somebody told me, oh, you should make a black-owned business, well, then that means I'm limiting my customers, because basically I'm already saying that I'm only going to offer and only I'm limiting my business capability of basically expanding, and I'm putting the limitation because I'm basically already sending a message to customers that I'm only serving to this certain group of people based on AKA being a black business. So if you are a Haitian business and you consider yourself just as a Haitian business, and now that Haitians that weren't supposed to be here forever, and you were entitled to think they were, you done limited your customer base and actually, instead of actually just serving to the people in the community. So how is it anybody else's fault but yours based on you limiting your capability to get as much capital as possible to actually expand and be a successful business? That's your damn fault. So anyway,
Reports say the latest ICE crackdown will target Haitians as more than 300,000 lose their temporary protection status, or TPS, with arrest and deportations potentially starting as early as today. The Haitian Times reports officials are expecting about 1,000 deportees per month. News Nation national correspondent Ryan Bass is live in Florida, which has some of the largest Haitian community. Ryan, what can we expect?
Yeah, Nick, nowhere is expected to feel an impact more than the state of Florida here. Today marks a pretty big turning point for hundreds of thousands of Haitians across the country, because temporary protected status expires after the Supreme Court did clear the way for the Trump administration basically to end the program, which means that we're talking about roughly 300,000 people. That's about the size of, think, Orlando or Cleveland, that could be in line for deportation if they don't have another path to temporary citizenship. Now, TPS, I should say, this program has been around for Haitians since 2010 and that earthquake that devastated the country, allowing them to legally live and work in the United States while Haiti recovered. Those protections have been extended several times since then. But last month, the Supreme Court cleared the way for the Trump administration to end the program. Borders are Tom Homan. He is defending the move, saying TPS was always meant to be temporary. The Trump
it's self-explanatory. One question, let me know in the comments. If we continue to save other countries, who is going to save us? The United States of America, or the United States of Americas? Let me know in the comments.
Administration argues that conditions in Haiti have improved enough to end those protections, but the State Department still considers Haiti too dangerous for Americans to travel to, saying that there is high crime and kidnappings. If ICE begins targeting Haitians who've lost temporary protected status, Florida is expected to see it more than anywhere else. More than half of Haitian TPS holders live here. Large populations also, though, are in New York, Massachusetts, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Georgia, and also Indiana. We spoke with the executive director of the Florida Immigrant Coalition, who says for many families, just the fear and the uncertainty of if they will be picked up by ICE, that is enough of a punishment here, as opposed to just even staring down the options of being deported.
The threat of seeing your parents disappear overnight, the idea that the living in fear 24/7, not knowing when your turn is coming, right? Imagine, I want people to think about the purge.
I'll always hear, and let me know if I'm wrong in the comments. I hear more women talk about the thought and the emotions and the emotionality of families being tore apart. But I don't really, I don't really see men say it as much. It's like men get the concept of, okay, this is what I signed up for. This is what it is, as more acceptable. Is it coming off as if majority of women, not all, but the majority I'm speaking to, not the minority, feel as though they can use emotions to remix what a definitive standard is? And then you wonder why victimhood has been going so far in the country. Now, I'm not saying that that's purposely women's fault, because victimhood could be woman or man. But I'm saying in regards when it comes to the borders and people coming over the right way and legal processes, that not only they act like United States is the only one to have ICE. Canada has ICE. They won't let just any American citizen over there to their country. So what is the difference with any other country and what we're doing, which has been around for years? But it's just mind blowing to me how they always say just the shocking part of seeing family tore apart. Well, what about that family knowing what they signed up for, and they allowed themselves to be torn apart to that extent, instead of handling their business, knowing what was going to come with what they signed up for? So you put a woman on here to tug on heartstrings to try to remix what the definitive term is, which is temporary. Ain't no emotion changing the definition of what a word means. It just always that thing where, oh, family's torn apart. And I'm not saying that it's not harmful or hurtful or unfortunate that the family got to get torn apart. But my thing is, technically they don't have to get torn apart, because you can just all just leave together. They all was here temporary. So I don't get it. And then on top of it, if your family did get torn apart, why you didn't think that eventually temporary meant temporary? So get your ducks in a row, handle your business while it is temporary, to make sure your family is set. So when you do go back, your family is great. So who, in the name of leadership, actually misled their family in the name of entitlement to think that temporary didn't mean temporary? And then it's like defending the enabling behavior out of respect for the humanity. It takes away the humanitarian purpose of it, because now you're trying to turn humanitarian to something being bad, when the United States did save Haitians and they did been over here since 2010 to help them out, which was only to help them out in the first place. You're trying to make it like, oh, it's bad now that they got to go back, when we helped them out for that damn near decade. That's like keep giving somebody money, but they don't want to feed, or they don't want to go work. If you somebody keep asking you for money and you helping them, but they're not helping themselves, what's wrong with saying, okay, I'll help you, but you got to help yourself? I don't know how long this is going to last, man. Definitively, show me you helping yourself, because eventually I can't do it for it. I only could do it for X, Y, and Z. Or they'll tell you, I only could do this for a couple months. They're giving you time. So why turn a humanitarian thing into a demonic thing, because it no longer suits the needs and the standard that you wanted to meet, when you never had no control over it in the first place? But it was an opportunity, beautifully, that you took advantage of, that another country offered gratefully and gracefully. So be grateful.
If somebody has seen the movie The Purge, think about when people are just waiting for their turn to come.
The movie The Purge. That's the analogy she used for a humanitarian act. You see how demonic she just made it? The Purge is literally, the movie is like killing people. They're killing people in the name of control, and basically whoever happens to make it within the 24 hours the next day lives. But it's basically full of hatred and individuals killing each other because they dislike each other and don't agree with what each other stand for, and et cetera, et cetera. And it's just fuel of hatred and death. This is none of that. It was humanitarian, a humanitarian set time in which eventually would expire. And they all knew that.
Tessa
No killing.
says that Haiti should still qualify for the TPS program because of the country's ongoing political instability and violence that is ravaging Haiti right now. But the Senate rejected a bill that would have extended this program through 2029. Haitian officials, by the way, Nick, tell the Miami Herald that U.S. officials have told them to prepare for at least 2 flights, deportation flights, a week once those protections officially end, which is slated to be today, Nick.
And Ryan, this comes as the White House is also focusing on denaturalization.
Yeah, the Trump administration has made that a top priority as well. They're ramping up efforts to strip citizenship from people they say that never should have become U.S. citizens in the first place. The Justice Department says that it plans to file at least 250 denaturalization cases by October in what would be basically the biggest of its kind in modern American history. So far this year, just to give you some context, Nick, it's already filed nearly 90 cases. That is almost 4 times as many as during the entire Biden administration.
Ryan Bass, live for us in Florida with the latest.
All I'm gonna say is, family, from a common sense perspective, how I'm looking at it, and like I say, as always, we just having a conversation. I'm not telling you what to think. You can't keep trying to get your home in order while keep allowing people in your home. That's how I look at it from a United States perspective. You say you want the working class people, you want to help the working class people, you want more jobs, you want this, you want that, affordability. Well, if you have so many people coming to your home and constantly taking away those resources for people that actually come in the right way and people that are here, then is it really a problem, or you're just allowing so many individuals in your home that's taken away from the issues that you claim you want to work? So are you making more of a problem and actually making things more of an issue because you're more so hurting than helping, but you claim that you want to help the working class people and people that are here first? So you can't try to take care of your home and keep inviting people in it. Every time you clean it up, it's going to get dirty. You invited 10 more people the next day when you only holds 3-4 bedrooms, which was your family essentially. So the bigger picture that nobody wants to talk about is American towns should not have to import people from other countries to fix their problems as well. You get all these towns in Ohio, Pennsylvania, Michigan that are struggling, empty houses, closed factories, people leaving. And instead of investing in the American people who are already there, instead of fixing the housing and creating jobs and revitalizing the communities that built this country, the answer was to bring in thousands of people from other countries to fill the gap. Like I said, that's not fixing the problem, that's changing the country. Those are 2 different things. And if you can make a house livable for a Haitian family, you can make that same house livable for an American family or anyone who came over here the right way as a legal immigrant. If you can create jobs for people coming from Haiti, you can create jobs for people who were born in Ohio. The resources and the will, the resources and the will exist. The question is who the system is designed to serve is my whole point as well. Because when you look at it through those lenses, the whole thing starts to make a lot more sense. The fear of deportation is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. It's motivating people to leave on their own terms instead of waiting for ICE to show up, and that's a win. Self-deportation saves money, it saves resources, it saves the trauma of raids and arrests, and it sends a clear message that the law matters. That word have meaning. That temporary doesn't mean forever. So let me close with some wisdom, because every story has a lesson if you're willing to look for it. Proverbs chapter 14, verse 34 says, righteous exalts a nation, but sin is a disgrace to any people. A nation is built on truth, on honesty, on keeping your word, and following the law. And when you build a system on deception, when you call something temporary but treat it like it's permanent, when you let people build their whole lives on a promise that was never really a promise, that's not righteousness. That's a house built on sand. And eventually the storm comes and the house falls. But there's also a lesson here about personal responsibility, about not putting your trust in political systems that can change overnight, about understanding that the only real security you have is the one you built for yourself in a place that is truly yours. And for the people being sent back to Haiti, I pray that they find strength to rebuild their country, truly. And for the people watching this in America, I hope you understand that the same principle applies to your own life. Don't build your future on a temporary foundation. Build it on something solid, something real, something that can be taken away by a court ruling. Let me know what you think in the comments. Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications. As always, spread that peace, love, and positivity. Let the love supersede the hate, family. As always, we're just having a conversation. I hope you guys got some value from this and just a productive conversation. That's my whole purpose in these videos, and just to inform to the utmost ability, speaking and having a truthful conversation based on the facts. Catch you next one. Peace.